Yeah.
Hi, my name is Marie, and this is my husband Godfrey. And we've been married for 55 years. We got married in 1963. My husband and I had 3 children before immigrating to Quebec, Canada in 1973. 3 of our children were born in Pakistan, 2 were born in Quebec. The reason for immigrating was the tension in Pakistan regarding Christians. Christians were being persecuted and churches being burnt down. Coming to Canada was a big cultural shock for us. My husband was an engineer on the ships and had sailed all around the world, so he was aware of what changes he was facing in Canada. Myself, I was a certified bookkeeper and had not worked in Pakistan. Mothers usually stayed at home and the husband was the bread earner. So for me, it was more difficult adjusting because I was used to having servants doing things for us, cooking, cleaning, laundry, nannies for the children. So my life changed drastically, learning to do all the things that I was used to having other people do for me. The first couple of years was very hard for me. I had to adjust and learn a lot to integrate into the Canadian way of living. Even the education system was difficult. I had to fight with the French school board to have my children admitted to the French system. But they refused, saying we come under the English school board because we were from a Commonwealth country. And yet, at the Canadian Embassy in Pakistan, we were told that we have a choice of English or French schools. So my 3 older children went to English schools, and by the time the 2 younger ones were ready for school, the law had changed and they were able to go to French schools. The first big difference for me was that I found that buying groceries was easy. Vendors did not come to your door selling groceries where you had to bargain with them for price and quantity. You could just go to the grocery store here and pick up what you wanted and it was already priced. Also buying ready-made clothes for myself and the children. In Karachi, we had to get everything tailor-made. When the children were young, I enjoyed buying their clothes from Sears catalog books. Where the package came to the house, they tried the clothes on. If they didn't fit, I took them back to the store and ordered the correct size. My husband traveled a lot for work, so I had to be a mom and dad, taking them for soccer games and after-school activities. The political climate was also very different from Pakistan. Everyone actually got to vote for federal, provincial, and municipal elections. There was no corruption and bribing to get what was needed to get on with your life, like your driving license, medical insurance, buying a house, etc. We landed in Montreal, Quebec on October 24, 1973, and stayed in Lachine for 2 years before buying a house in 1975 in Saint-Hubert, Quebec, the South Shore. That March, my husband had a bad accident at work. He nearly lost his leg. Those were very hard times. We did not know about workers' compensation until 3 months later. The bank called me to say our mortgage was coming up and there was no money in the bank. When I told him about the accident, he mentioned that my husband was eligible for workers' comp. I had to call workers' comp and they said that they had not received his claim from the company. I then had to call the company and find out why they hadn't sent the claim. Apparently, there was a mistake made and they had to resend everything back again, which caused a delay. The bank manager was really good. He gave us a loan until the money from workers' comp came in. But we survived that period to go on with our lives. In 1977, we had our 5th child. We lived in St. Hubert for 14 years before moving to Ontario. The reason we left was because of Bill 101, the French bill. Made things very difficult for my husband who did not know French. As he was the only earner in the family, he could not speak French and his job required him to be bilingual. So we decided to move to Ontario, where French was not a requirement for work. In Ontario, I got a job as a bookkeeper and went back to school to get my accounting certificates, because none of my certificates from Pakistan were recognized in Canada. We lived in Mississauga for the next 24 years. We moved back to Quebec after retiring in 2011 because we had 4 grandchildren here. We presently reside in Penco, Quebec. We have always loved Quebec and wanted to retire here. I guess this is where we're going to be living for the rest of our lives. with our beautiful grandchildren, granddaughters and grandson. And that's basically it. And life will go on, I guess.